Did you know that 1 in 6 children experiences sensory processing challenges significant enough to affect their daily lives, including their ability to speak? 1 in 6. That means in any classroom, at any birthday party, on any playground, there are children whose brains are working so hard just to process the world around them that words simply don't have room to form. If you've been wondering why your child understands everything you say but struggles to respond, if you sat in a speech therapist's office and still felt like something was being missed, or if your child melts down in loud restaurants but is perfectly calm at home, I've spent years studying the intersection of sensory development and language acquisition. What I'm about to share with you comes directly from peer-reviewed research, clinical observations, and the stories of thousands of families just like yours. Today, we're uncovering 5 sensory processing secrets that might be quietly blocking your child's verbal progress. And more importantly, what you can do about each one, starting today. Secret number 1, the auditory filter problem. Here's where we start, with sound. And I want you to imagine something with me. Picture a child named Amir. He's 4 years old, bright-eyed, loves dinosaurs, can build Lego towers for hours. But every time his mom asks him a question in a noisy room, at the dinner table, in the car with the radio on, at the supermarket, he goes completely blank. She thought he wasn't paying attention. His preschool teacher thought he was being stubborn. But Amir wasn't ignoring anyone. His auditory system simply couldn't filter background noise from foreground speech. Researchers at Northwestern University have found that children with auditory processing difficulties cannot efficiently separate meaningful speech from environmental noise. For these children, every conversation in a busy environment sounds like a dozen radio stations playing at once. And here's the critical piece. If a child can't clearly receive language, their brain has no clean model to imitate. No model, no output. No output, no speech. What you can do: begin speaking to your child in the quietest environment possible. Turn off the TV. Reduce background music. Get at their eye level and speak slowly and clearly. Even 15 minutes of intentional, low-noise conversation daily can begin to rewire their auditory attention. Ask your pediatrician about a referral to an audiologist who specializes in auditory processing, not just hearing. Tell me in the comments, does your child seem to hear better in quiet spaces? I'd love to know. Secret number 2, the mouth isn't getting the right signals. Secret number 2 is one most parents never hear about, and it stopped me in my tracks when I first learned it. The mouth, lips, tongue, and jaw all have their own sensory system. It's called the oral tactile system, and it tells your child's brain what things feel like inside their mouth. Now, here's the connection to speech. The same sensory pathways that process how food feels are the same pathways your child's brain uses to plan and coordinate the precise muscle movements needed for speech sounds. Children who are hypersensitive in this area often gag at new textures, refuse crunchy or chewy foods, and hate having their teeth brushed. But what parents don't realize is that this same sensitivity can make producing certain speech sounds uncomfortable or even painful. Dr. Lucy Jane Miller, a pioneer in sensory processing research, found that oral tactile hypersensitivity significantly impacts the development of articulation in young children. The brain is so busy managing uncomfortable input that it cannot efficiently coordinate the muscle sequencing required for clear speech. What you can do: introduce oral sensory play gradually and joyfully. Let your child blow bubbles. It strengthens lip muscles. Try fun activities with straws, like blowing cotton balls across a table. Offer a range of food textures in a no-pressure environment, and seek out a speech-language pathologist who is trained in oral motor therapy. This combination can be genuinely transformative. Secret number 3. The body needs to feel safe before the mouth will speak. Stay with me here, because this next secret is rooted in neuroscience. And once you understand it, everything changes. The vestibular system lives in your inner ear. It controls balance, spatial awareness, and your sense of where your body is in space. And according to research from the Starr Institute for Sensory Processing, the vestibular system is one of the earliest sensory systems to develop in utero, and it is deeply connected to the neural pathways that govern speech and language. When a child's vestibular system is dysregulated, meaning they're either craving constant movement or completely avoiding it, their nervous system exists in a low-grade state of stress. And here's the key. The brain cannot efficiently allocate resources to language production when it is managing a stress response. Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory tells us that the human voice, its tone, its modulation, its very production, is regulated by the same neural circuits that determine whether we feel safe or threatened. A child who doesn't feel safe in their body will struggle to find their voice. This is not a discipline problem. This is neurobiology. What you can do. Prioritize movement before communication tasks. Before bedtime reading, let your child jump on a mini trampoline for 5 minutes. Before homework or speech practice, try spinning them gently in a computer chair. These vestibular inputs can help regulate the nervous system, so the brain has capacity to engage with language. Talk to an occupational therapist about building a sensory diet that incorporates these activities strategically. Secret number 4. Tactile defensiveness is keeping them in survival mode. Let me tell you about a little girl named Sophia. She was 5, smart, funny, loved puzzles. But she screamed when her hair was brushed. She refused socks with seams. She wouldn't let anyone touch her face. Her parents had been told she was just sensitive. But what was actually happening was tactile defensiveness. Her nervous system was interpreting ordinary touch as threatening. And here's what that means for speech. When the skin, the body's largest sensory organ, is constantly sending alarm signals to the brain, the body is in survival mode. Language is a social, connected act. Survival mode and social connection are neurologically incompatible. Research published in the American Journal of Occupational Therapy confirms that children with tactile hypersensitivity show measurably lower engagement in social interaction. And social interaction is the very engine of language development. What you can do: try Wilbarger protocol deep pressure brushing with guidance from a trained OT. Use weighted blankets or lap pads during reading time to provide calming proprioceptive input. Let your child choose clothing textures. Control reduces the alarm response. Slowly, the nervous system learns to feel safe, and language begins to emerge. Secret number 5. They're not ignoring you, they're overloaded. The 5th and final secret is perhaps the most important and the most misunderstood. Many children who struggle with verbal expression do not have a language problem. They have a capacity problem. Their sensory systems are working so hard, processing lights, sounds, textures, movement, social cues, that by the time a question reaches them, their brain is simply out of bandwidth. Dr. Temple Grandin, one of the world's most recognized voices on sensory experience, has described this as the brain's RAM being fully used up. When every byte of processing power is consumed by sensory data, there is nothing left for formulating a spoken response. This is why your child might speak beautifully at home and go completely nonverbal at a birthday party. It is not defiance, it is not laziness, it is an overloaded system doing its best. What you can do: create predictable sensory environments before social or communicative demands. Give your child sensory breaks, a quiet corner with noise-canceling headphones, a weighted blanket, dimmed lights. Reduce input before expecting output. And when your child goes quiet in a stimulating environment, meet them with patience, not pressure. Drop a heart in the comments if you've ever watched your child shut down in a busy place. You are not alone, and neither are they. Let's bring this home. 5 sensory secrets that could be blocking your child's verbal progress. Auditory filtering challenges that drown out speech. Oral tactile sensitivity that makes forming sounds uncomfortable. A dysregulated vestibular system that keeps the body in stress. Tactile defensiveness that puts the brain in survival mode. And sensory overload that simply uses up all available processing power. None of these are character flaws. None of these are failures, yours or your child's. They are neurological realities with real, evidence-based solutions. And now you know them. If this video opened your eyes even a little, please give it a like. It helps other parents find this content when they're searching in the middle of the night, wondering what's going on with their child. Subscribe if you want more evidence-based parenting content delivered with warmth and without judgment. And leave me a comment. Which of these 5 secrets surprised you most? I read every single one. Your child has a voice. Sometimes we just need to remove what's getting in the way.